Good evening. Um, we're trying to get the stream up here. Brett, are you in yet? Or your countdown just went off? Good evening. Um, we're trying to get. Yeah, all right, so that's working there. Brett, I see you. I can't hear you.
Just with the most.
All right, so my stream is connected. We're just waiting for Brett to join the call, and then we can go back across the pond. Actually, it's an ocean, but yeah. So we're gonna do some more mysteries tonight. Uh, we're gonna pass the halfway point in the game tonight, so we've got only a few more episodes left of this series.
Hey, Evie, you around?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you
Oh,
hear me?
yay.
All
It's
right.
working. It's working. It's working.
Hey, Evie,
Like
you around? Yeah,
Anakin
I
in
can
the
hear you. Can you hear me?
Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so
All right.
let
So
me get
I've
some.
just confirmed that your audio is coming through on my end.
Very
So
good.
actually, say
Oh,
something real quick. Yeah.
okay. Hey, it's
All right.
Forward
So I've just
Progress.
confirmed that your audio is
Hey,
coming
Forward,
through on
what's
my
up? You
end.
can't hang out because he's getting
So
ready. You're getting up early for Record
actually,
Store Day.
say something
Yeah,
real
that
quick.
is tomorrow.
Okay.
But
Hey,
wanted to
it's
say hi at
forward
least. Hi.
progress.
Get something good for me.
Yeah,
Let me
we're
know
good
what you
to
get.
go.
Any good picks? All right, so what's up, Evie?
If you heard echoing right there, that's just because I was running a quick audio test on my end,
Yeah,
with us
yeah, it's
actually
fine.
being live. But we're good to
I
go.
assumed as much.
You're definitely coming through on my end. So
Okay, excellent. Let me get my audio fixed here. Give me one
my
second.
my video screen is still on my splash screen, but I'm switching over to the game now, and now you should see the game.
There we go. I do see the game.
Okay,
Well, I see the splash screen, but
and in
no
on
vision
my
people.
on my off screen, I've loaded up the folder that has the two maps in it for when we need them. So tonight we have the last two mysteries in that first casebook, and then we're going to start the second casebook, which is supposed to be more advanced. But I don't remember. I don't remember what the difficulty spike is. I think we'll be okay. I
I'm
don't.
sure we'll be fine.
I don't. I
We're
don't
we're a
think.
couple of smart guys.
I don't think it's that much more difficult than the first casebook, because I remember when I played this decades ago, I completed the second casebook. It's gonna be the same as the first casebook, where I won't remember the cases per by the title, but then they'll come back to me when I see the opening scene. So again, I'm gonna try to avoid spoilers if I get flooded with memories. So let's go ahead and get started because
Yeah,
we got the last
yeah.
two in the
I'm
first
ready to go.
casebook.
Let's do this. I
My
got I got my I got my liquid death. I got my remotes. Got my tablet charged up. Yeah, we're good to go.
my realistic goal,
I,
my semi-realistic goal for tonight, I think, is to get to the third mystery in the second case book. If we're making good time, and they're not the difficulty spike is not as advanced as I thought it was, and they end up being quick as the mysteries in the first case book. We might be able to get to the fourth, but I'm not making any promises. We're still in the first case book, so we're still using Jake for these first
okay.
two mysteries. We'll switch out
All
to
right.
Jennifer when we switch over.
Okay. Cool. Sounds good. Let's do this. Let's do this.
So if we scroll down to the bottom of this case book, you can see there's only two things left, starting with the case of the hieroglyphic hint. So I think we're going to see. Actually, both of these look like they're thematically related because we have hieroglyphic hint and then the mummified mouser. So both of these, I think, look like they're going to be related to the Egypt exhibit at the
Mummified
museum.
mouse. Yeah, mummified mouse is totally going to be a cat. You realize this?
If it's a cat, then you know McCavity might be involved.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And do you remember that mystery we had last time with a cat themed costume party that was hosted by the nobles? Do you remember how they said the reporter got in? McCavity sent them an invitation.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole eyes wide shut party. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, keep note of that offhand comment that McCavity sent the invitation to the gate crasher.
Okay.
Because that's important later on in the second case book.
All right.
All right. But first, the case of the hieroglyphic hint.
The hieroglyphic hint. Let's do this.
Basil's back. We
Oh,
haven't seen him in a few. We haven't seen him in a
yeah,
few cases.
he's been sitting it out for a while. I must say, Miranda's assignments baffle me sometimes. Now she's trying to interview some monkeys.
Interview monkeys? What on earth for, Uncle Basil?
Hang on one second. I'm repositioning myself. The mic stand that I've got will only go a certain position here, and so it's kind of messed up. So I have to get set up here. Give me one second. Why is it doing this now? I don't know. It'll be fine as long as I don't touch it or breathe. One second. Now my camera's messed up. I promise we'll be ready shortly. I think I've got this on Zoom or something, maybe. I don't know. Whatever, it's fine. But one of our stories, of course. But it appears there's a problem, and perhaps you can help.
I hope you don't want me to be an interpreter. I don't speak monkey.
Oh no, the problem's simply the monkeys have disappeared. Miranda's over at Scotland Yard trying to suss it all out. It gives me an idea for this tremendous new book. There's this monkey, you see, in a research lab, and he learns to talk. And one day he puts on some human clothes and escapes. And he gets hired by the circus as this acrobat, see? And
Wow, sounds like a great book, all right, Uncle Baz. You better get started on it right away. Meanwhile, we will head down to Scotland Yard and help Aunt Em find the missing monkeys.
Meanwhile, shut up is what he's saying.
No, he didn't exactly say that.
No, he didn't exactly say that, but that's what he's saying. I don't want to hear your story.
I thought Scotland Yard helped solve crimes. I didn't know they help people find lost animals. Well, in some cases, a lost animal is a crime, so...
True. Let's see it, Aunt Retta. Oh, there you are. Basil must have told you the fix I'm in. So glad you came to help.
Sure thing, Aunt Miranda. What's the situation?
You remember Inspector Gage, don't you? He can tell you the facts we've learned thus far. Essentially, it looks like McCavity arranged to steal some monkeys and ruined my interview.
Okay, so maybe both of these have to do with McCavity.
Maybe if they're the ending cases of this book, then that wouldn't surprise me.
Were you really planning to interview these monkeys, Aunt Miranda?
One of them, yes. Actually, Yum Yum's a chimpanzee, and chimpanzees are apes, not monkeys. Anyway, Yum Yum can speak in sign language. It's really quite remarkable. Yum Yum learned to speak in sign language at an animal study laboratory in the United States. But the laboratory ran out of funds and was forced to sell Yum Yum and its monkeys to an animal testing company here in London. I heard about it and thought I'd do a story to publicize Yum Yum's plight. But McCavity must have found out about it too and decided to do something drastic. All right then, we're missing some animals. 9 howler monkeys and a chimpanzee named Yum Yum. The animals were taken from a lorry, a truck, as they were being transported to an animal care company in London. The driver stopped to fix a flat tire, left the lorry, and when he came back, the animals were gone. Adjusting my volume just a bit. It's hard to do Matt Berry quietly. He found a note in the back of the lorry. It's there on the table. It tells us where to recover the monkeys. If you can figure out what Leota Park means, apparently it's another prank by that scoundrel McCavity. You remember McCavity, don't you? He or she is a mystery person who loves to play pranks and baffle Scotland Yard. McCavity likes to make fun of traditional British activities, and he or she is always very protective of animals. McCavity's schemes haven't hurt anyone. Yet. But try as we might, we cannot uncover his or her identity. It's terribly frustrating.
You know what else is frustrating? The fact
What
that
was that?
the fact that I know who McCavity is, and the game doesn't let you unmask them until the end of the second casebook. So I could tell you right now who it is, but that would be massive
Well,
spoilers. So
yeah,
I'm
but
not going to.
that would spoil everything. There would be no point in playing the game. Now we need to figure out what that is Leota right now. Now we need to figure out what Leota Park means. I think it's a place, but if it's a place in London, I've never heard of it. Oh, I don't think it's a place, Miranda. I suspect it's a person. The person who helped McCavity take those monkeys at approximately 9:21 this morning to get publicity and embarrass Scotland Yard. Well, that's my theory, anyway, and I'm sticking to it. I rang up Basil's dear friend Mr. Sneed at the British Museum's library. He may have some information for you. What do you think, Uncle and Jake? Can you help us find Leota Park and the missing monkeys?
Okay, well, Leota is the name of a character in Disney's Haunted Mansion. She's the disembodied head in the crystal ball, who speaks those rhyming enchantments that make the instruments float.
So we have a Disney connection then, got it.
Well, probably not. There's probably no reference to that at all in this case. They just happen to share a name. The note is spelled out with letters cut out of magazines and newspapers, pasted on plain paper. It reads, 10 little monkeys sitting in a cage, then all were gone but Inspector Gage. If to save monkeys you dare to try, then give Leota Park a try. McCavity.
I wonder if it's like a what's the
Oh,
word? Jumbled letters or something else.
I remember what Leota Park means, but obviously it won't let us solve it till we see all the clues. So
Yeah.
I know that I remember what's going on here. But actually, do you see the little hidden insult in the second line of this poem? Then all were gone but Inspector Gage, after referring to 10 monkeys. He just basically indirectly called Inspector Gage a monkey, which is absolutely hilarious considering Inspector Gage needs the help of teenagers to solve his mysteries. He can't do it himself.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
It's like Scooby-Doo without a talking dog. We should have a talking dog in this. That would make it much more entertaining.
You know, it'd be fun, but it doesn't exist.
What's that?
A modern reinterpretation of this game.
Oh yeah.
With Jake.
Yeah, you could do so much more with it now too.
Jake and Jennifer all grown up. Obviously, it would all be voice acted instead of these dialogue boxes, but then we lose the fun of having you on stream when we do it that way. But I mean, Jake and Jennifer are working
at
at
turn on captions and turn the voice volume really low. Most games will let you adjust the voice separately.
All right, it's so strange. There are other words on the page too. The petite singe or something like that. Is it French?
The small fire. Yes, we had it translated. It says the exact same thing in French as it does in English. You'll see some kind of picture writing called hieroglyphics above the French writing. I expect it also means the same thing, but I don't really know. For you see, I am a moron.
He is. We have never seen him solve a case without our help. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And that other that other inspector who shows up sometimes, what's his name, Blodges? He's just as clueless as Gage is.
I think Blodges is smarter than Gage.
But he still can't solve mysteries on his own. He still needs to call in the teenagers.
By that much, he's smarter than Gage.
Yes, isn't it strange? It reminds me of the Rosetta Stone, the way it has 3 different languages on one tablet. You should look that up, Jake. It's in the British Museum. Take a copy of McCavity's note with you.
All right, let's go to the museum. This one shouldn't take us too long to complete. I think most of this case is contained in and around the museum, so. Aunt Miranda said McCavity's note was like the Rosetta Stone. We can find the real Rosetta Stone here in the main floor gallery, surrounded by other huge carved figures from Egypt.
Rosetta Stone, eh? No thanks. Been looking at her all morning. Can't abide her face anymore today.
Her Isn't the Rosetta Stone that piece of black rock over there?
Yeah, no, no, why, yes, of course. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the actress Rosetta Stone. She's in a play at the Old Vic Theatre, you see, and they had a dress rehearsal all this morning where people were allowed to snap photos.
Oh, I'm doing the wrong voice for this guy. I'm gonna keep with it though because it's fun.
I've been taking photos of her and all the other actors in her play since sunup. Just got finished. That's quite enough of Rosetta Stone. Thank you very much, if you know what I mean.
An actress named Rosetta Stone. Hmm.
That's what she calls herself. She's still rehearsing over at the Old Vic Theatre. Go on over and have a look. I've got to get back to my photos. I've got a really lovely snap of Miss Stone as Cleopatra, posing with the woman who plays her attendant. I just came by here to take some more photos of authentic Egyptian artwork. It will make a lovely set. Yes. Yes.
You know, the note from McCavity has things written in 3 languages, just like the Rosetta Stone. I think we better investigate this Rosetta Stone person as well as the stone slab here.
I think we should. By golly.
The guidebook says the Rosetta Stone was the key to deciphering ancient Egyptian writings called hieroglyphics. For over 1,000 years, nobody had any idea how to read all that picture writing found in Egyptian tombs. And they also had very little idea of how the ancient Egyptians lived. Now we know a lot about them because of the Rosetta Stone. The famed Rosetta Stone is a slab of black basalt about 4 feet high and 2 feet wide. The same message is carved into its surface in 3 different languages. First, the message is carved in hieroglyphics, the picture script used by the Egyptians from about 3000 BC to 380. Hieroglyphics are the little symbols of birds, men, and other objects that we see carved all over the statues of ancient Egypt.
And at the Luxor in Las Vegas.
The middle section is written in Demotic script, a kind of shorthand writing that Egyptians usually used when writing on papyrus or paper instead of carving in stone. The third section is the same message carved in Greek. Once the stone was found, scholars could look at a word in the Greek message, which they could read, and then see how the same word was spelled in the other messages. It's like cracking a code. Jennifer really gets into stuff like that. By using a copy of the Rosetta Stone, Frenchman Jean-Francois Champollion figured out hieroglyphics in 1822. Even though he was a whiz with languages, it took him 20 years to make his discovery. When he was 11 years old, someone showed him some hieroglyphs and told him no one alive could read them. He wanted to be the person to figure them out, so he spent 20 years studying the Rosetta Stone until he finally decoded its secret.
And he found out it was a joke. How many Tutankhamons does it take to screw in a light bulb?
None, because they didn't have light bulbs.
I don't know. Exactly.
It happened when he compared the hieroglyphic version of the names Ptolemy and Cleopatra, spelled with a K. He noticed that where the names had the same letters like T, P, and O, they also had the same hieroglyphs. That's how he found out what letter each hieroglyph stood for. One of the most famous of the ancient Egyptians is the queen we call Cleopatra. She lived from 69 to 40 BC. Actually, she was the 7th queen of Egypt to be named Cleopatra. Notice they're using inconsistent spelling with the K again.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's relevant here. In ancient times, Cleopatra was spelled with a K. Cleopatra.
Yeah, they wouldn't be bringing it up like that if it wasn't a clue to something.
In those days, the Romans ruled the Mediterranean, and Roman generals often fought with Roman emperors or Caesars for control of the empire. Cleopatra used this situation to the advantage of Egypt, but it eventually spelled her doom. Julius Caesar was impressed with both her beauty and her intelligence and helped her to rule Egypt. But when he was assassinated in 44 BC, the Roman Empire was divided, and Cleopatra joined the Roman general Mark Antony. Didn't Shakespeare write a play about that?
I believe he did. I believe it was just called Antony and Cleopatra.
Octavian Caesar marched his armies against them and won. In the confusion of battle, a messenger told Mark Antony that Cleopatra was dead, so he killed himself. When Cleopatra found out what he had done, she did the same. What a sad story. It's no wonder that Shakespeare wrote a tragic play about it, called Antony and Cleopatra. Isn't that the one with the famous Friends, Romans, Countrymen speech?
Maybe?
No, that's Julius Caesar. The speech,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, and this is going back to high school, so decades old memory that I could be half remembering. The speech goes a bit like this: Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ear. I come to bury Caesar. No,
No,
I messed it up. Friends,
I
Romans,
come not.
countrymen, lend me your ear. Something,
I
something,
come.
something.
I.
It's time to
I
bury
come not.
Caesar. So let's bury him and get onto my play, Antony and Cleopatra.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
That was a little unexpected.
that's an actual quote from an actual Shakespeare parody that I was acquainted with in high school. This way leads to the gigantic British Library.
The other door leads to the minuscule British Library.
Aunt Miranda said we could probably find out a lot about Leota Park in the British Library, and that Uncle Basil's friend, Mr. Sneed, would help us. Hi, Mr. Sneed.
What do you want, you rotten jerks? Oh, good heavens, please keep your voices down. This is an institution of higher learning, not a common meeting room. Decorum must be maintained at all times. This is not America, you know. Your Aunt Miranda called and in a polite, quiet tone of voice told me what you were researching. I've set out the material right here. Now, if you have any questions, please keep them to yourselves. Good day.
I forgot, Uncle, just how testy Mr. Sneed can be. Let's be quiet and
Yeah.
see what he's got for us about Leota Park and missing monkeys.
Testy.
First, let's look up Leota Park on the map of London. The index will let us know if there's one anywhere in the city. Nothing. Now let's look up Leota Park on the map of England. The index will let us know if there's one anywhere in the area. Still nothing. Last, let's look up the World Atlas. If there's a Leota Park anywhere in the world, it should be listed in the index in the back. The index of an atlas is called a gazetteer. Nothing. Whatever Leota Park is, it doesn't seem to be a place. A phone book. Maybe Leota Park is somebody's name. Let's look it
Yep.
up under P. It's been years
Yeah,
since
yeah.
I've seen an actual phone book.
I know, right?
Yeah.
The
Here it
phone
is.
book was the thing.
Here it is. Park Leota. It gives an address at the University of London. We'll have to go check this out. Maybe this is the person who helped steal those monkeys this morning. Aha! A book on monkeys and apes. First, let's look up howler monkeys. It says here that howlers come from Central and South America. They get their name because of the incredible howling sound they make. Listen to how one scientist describes it. The howlers begin with a pumping growl, which turns into a booming howl, then changes into a roar or series of roars. Sometimes the howl will trail off into a tangle of sounds like many jaguars fighting. It is one of nature's most incredible sounds.
I have it on the ringtone on my phone.
Now let's look up chimpanzees. They are apes that live in the tall forests of Africa. Wait, there's a section in here about apes that know sign language. In recent years, researchers have had considerable success in teaching gorillas and chimpanzees to speak sign language. Because apes have hands that are very much like human hands, it is easier for them to make hand signs than it is for them to make sounds. After years of patient instruction, apes can learn over 100 words in sign language. They can then combine the words they know into short sentences like give toy me and me bad again. Apes can also use the words they've learned to name new objects. For example, when a chimpanzee named Lucy tasted her first watermelon, she made the signs for drink fruit. Coco, a gorilla, named a woodpecker listen bird.
Mm.
When some scientists were studying chimpanzees in the wild, they wondered, should they stand or sit while they watched the apes? Which would make the chimpanzees less worried? One of them decided to ask Coco. Coco immediately made the sign for down, down. Ever since then, people always sit down when they are with the apes out in the wild.
Yeah, standing would be an aggressive posture. I would think that would be obvious. But
It's amazing,
whatever.
isn't it? But then, lots of animals use language of some sort to communicate. This is just a case of an animal who has learned to use another language, one we can understand. Oh, no, I misclicked, sorry. That's the exact same book. I was trying to go for the book next to it, sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Here's the book I wanted to click on. Wow, a book called How to Decipher Hieroglyphs Fast. Mr. Sneed sure thinks of everything. Mr. Sneed's book has a chart that shows which hieroglyph stands for which letter. They call a chart like this a key. There's a copy in the Eagle Eye Handbook. Take a look. Here are the hieroglyphs from McCavity's note. Can you use the key in your Eagle Eye Handbook to figure out what word the hieroglyphs spell? Take your time and remember, some hieroglyphs can stand for more than one of our letters.
Oh, I bet that's me.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's the
All right,
handbook.
hang on. Yep. Let me go to it here. Give me 1 second. Decoder resource. Hey, look, it's right there. How do I zoom in on this? Hang on. No, go back to the other page. Oh man, there's like 3 pages of hieroglyphs. Where the heck is Zoom?
Uh, we're using Discord. I don't think we need to switch to Zoom right now.
No, how do I go single page on this? Hold on a minute. I think that's what the problem is. Because it's like, it's turning pages, but hold on. Thumbnail view, maybe. Oh god, that's even worse. Oh, here we go. Okay, that did something. Okay. The first one, this is gonna take a minute because it's spread out on like 50 pages here. The first letter, man, I wish I could. This doesn't have a zoom function, so I can't zoom in on the image. The first one is basket or hillside. Oh my god, I can't read this. Hang on. Let me see if I can just increase the size here. There we go. I had to drag the window over to get it to work. Okay. So, possible interpretations are kite or cat or back or Chris or school. Use either the basket or the hillside for the K. Oh wait, basket and hillside are two different things. Okay, uh, the basket is hard K, which is the K in basket. So it's a hard C sound in words like kite, cat, school, etc. Um, so yeah, that's K is the first sound, or C. Second one is an open mouth, which is L, so it's CL. Third one, hang on.
Could it be? Oh, I pulled up a chart on my own. I think I got it already.
Well, let's work through this. CLE, and that is not the vulture. That's a different bird.
I think I'm getting.
Yeah. CLEO, and the stool is P. Cleopa. I bet
I'm
it's
gonna try
Cleopatra.
Cleopatra here,
Yeah, it's got to
but
be
with the magic
Cleopatra.
case spelling that
It fit. Yeah, Cleopatra. Yep.
you're right. The hieroglyphics read Cleopatra. That's the name that French guy used to unlock the secret of ancient Egypt. Hopefully we
We're so
can
smart.
hopefully we can use it to find the missing monkeys. Let's look up Cleopatra in the phone book. Darn, there's nobody in there by that name. Could be a dead end.
Maybe Patra, comma Cleo. So now we're going to.
We're gonna go check out the university.
Yep.
We're gonna meet the actual Leota Park, who probably has nothing to do with anything.
Probably not. But there may be something interesting in the vicinity or thereabouts.
Yeah. The woman here is Leota Park. Excuse us for bothering you, but we found your name very interesting.
It's like, how you know what her name is? It's creepy.
Yes, it is. It's actually an anagram. That's a kind of puzzle where you... So I told you. That's a kind of puzzle where you mix up the letters of something to spell something else. My parents loved puzzles.
Miss Park, we're private detectives on a case. Some monkeys have disappeared, and we were wondering if you knew anything about it.
Monkeys? You mean like animals in a research lab? I think it's terrible that so many animals are made to suffer in lab experiments. If somebody rescued some of those monkeys, huzzah for them. But I won't give you any information about it. Not one clue. Goodbye. You are the weakest link.
She's sounding very sus right now.
Man,
Sheesh. Guess I pushed her button, eh? She really feels strongly about how people treat animals. She sure would have a motive to steal the monkeys. But what else did she say? She said her name is an anagram. If you rearrange the letters of Leota Park, what does it spell? Try it out.
okay, don't blurt out the answer if you. Oh, there it is.
This isn't the game. The game doesn't actually give you a chance to figure this one out.
Oh, that's too bad.
But you know, I figured it out the moment we saw the name Leota Park back at Scotland Yard. So
I didn't think about the K. That's what screwed me up.
it spells Cleopatra. There's a booklet here from the Old Vic Theatre. It tells all about the play that's showing there right now. The play is called Antony and Cleopatra. It was written by William Shakespeare.
Wow, the note was written by Shakespeare. We should keep that and sell it.
Look, Leota Park is in that play. She is the attendant to Cleopatra, Queen of Egypt. So, the actress who plays Cleopatra is named Rosetta Stone, and the actress who plays Cleopatra's attendant, her name is Leota Park, which is an anagram of Cleopatra. Yeah. There's some interesting casting going on with this particular performance.
This is very strange. Yes.
A note here says there was a dress rehearsal this morning at the Old Vic. Mr. Friscora was going to take photos of the play as they rehearsed it. I wonder, was Leota Park at that rehearsal, or was she busy doing something else, like stealing those monkeys?
I guess we gotta go back to the Old Vic, don't we? Ha ha.
Yeah, actually, I can see here. Yeah, the quoting here is kind of ambiguous. The grammar isn't perfect. It implies that the note was written by William Shakespeare, but it was actually referring to the play.
You could read it a couple different ways, but that's stretching it. I just did a silly interpretation of such. For I am a silly, silly man.
Actually, before we go to the Old Vic, I'm gonna go see what's cooking down here first at the house, because if this case does in fact have something to do with this play, it would be cool to solve it on scene, you know?
Yeah.
There's Uncle Basil and Nigel's friend Gordon. Gordon is really into Egyptology, the study of Egypt's past. Let's show him those hieroglyphics we deciphered.
Well then, Uncle and Jake, how are the investigations going? Did you find out how Miranda planned to interview those animals?
Yes, Uncle Baz. One of them knows sign language.
Right, I heard all about it on the radio. It's a chimpanzee named Yum Yum, and now everyone's getting all riled up about it. People are wondering who is going to buy Yum Yum and the other monkeys. It should be a really big story for Mum. I hope you two can help her find Yum Yum and the monkeys. After all this publicity, the city will make sure they find a good home. Let's see, what should he be? Gordon. Have we had Gordon before?
Yes.
He looks somewhat familiar. Hieroglyphics. And you've deciphered them already. Let me have a stab at them and see if I can get the same answer you did. First, I see the hieroglyphs are enclosed in that oval capsule called a cartouche. That means it's probably the name of some important person. The Egyptians often put the names of their kings and queens inside cartouches. I should have known this one right off the bat. It's quite a famous hieroglyphic, actually. The one for Queen of the Nile, Cleopatra. Hi, I remember an old pet store on Quite Street called the Cleopatra. Yes, but that was spelled the modern way, beginning with a C. The hieroglyphs spell Cleopatra the ancient way with a K. And Cleopatra. Oh, he should be comic book guy. Yeah, that'll work.
Anyhow, Nigel, we'll check it out. And we'll be on the lookout for Cleopatra. Come on, let's go.
That is unfortunate. I wanted to do Gordon as comic book guy just a bit more. Yes. And we're on a bus, and we're on a bus. Everybody look at the motherfather bus.
And what do you know? It's another story yet again. This lot is cursed, I tell ya. That must be the old shop. It looks like it's all closed up. But wait, someone's painting a new sign on it.
Oh, it's going to be a Starbucks. Cool.
I think this guy's new. Excuse me, sir. I see you're painting the name the Cleopatra on the shop sign with a K. What kind of a shop is it?
Don't know that it's all boarded up. I can't see in, man. But the man who hired me said it would be opening soon, so he wanted the front to look nice. And Cleopatra with a K, he says to me. So I says, yes, sir. I'll get my paint right away.
What's that noise? It's coming from inside the shop.
I didn't know, laddie. I hear it from time to time in there. Strangest noise I ever heard. First it starts off with a growling noise, and then it turns into this weird howling. Then it becomes this loud, loud roar. Very strange indeed.
So we know where the monkeys are.
Yeah,
We just have to figure
that's a
out who
howling
took
monkey.
them.
Yeah. So we need to look at who actually rented that space or something.
Yeah. So now we gotta go to the theater and meet up and get our last couple clues.
Ah! Tonight at the theater, a comedy tonight. Tonight at the theater, a drama tonight.
Looks
Tonight
like
at the theater.
looks like rehearsal's done for the day.
Who is she?
Rosetta Stone.
Good day, children. My name is Rosetta Stone. Are you interested in the theater? If so, you must simply come see our play.
We heard there was a dress rehearsal this morning. I guess we missed it.
Yes, but you can catch another performance later today. I play one of the title roles, you know.
Really? Which one?
Well, our play is Antony and Cleopatra, and I'm not playing Antony, you moron. So I naturally play the tragically beautiful Cleopatra, Queen of Egypt, Jewel of the Nile.
Well,
La, la,
it
la.
could be one of those genderbread productions. She could be
Yeah,
playing
true.
Antony for all we know.
That's true. Costume's wrong though.
So you're Cleopatra. Wow. All right, so that was anticlimactic.
Yeah, that was a little. That was a little
So
uh,
the monkeys are in the store spelled with a K,
uh-huh.
but Leota Park, the lady, was also suspicious. But
Where's the guy that took the pictures? Did we go back and talk to him yet?
Yeah, we talked to him at the beginning.
Right, but did we go back and talk to him again to look at the pictures? Is what I'm saying.
No, he didn't. He didn't have pictures to show. They were in his camera or
He
something.
said, okay, yeah,
Remember,
he said
this
something
wa-
about taking pictures.
This
so-
game was made in the days when camera development was not instantaneous.
Oh, well, I know, but in the game it could be.
They don't usually show pictures. It's all from dialogue.
It's. He said he was. See, the reason I say that is because he said he was there all day taking pictures of everyone, and if that was the case, he should have a picture of what's her
All
name
right.
there.
Let's solve this in front of Inspector Gage to make him look like an idiot.
All right, let's see here. Pick out the clues. Blah blah blah. Missing chimpanzees named Yum Yum.
All right, Leota Park is the key to recovering the monkeys.
Mhm. That could be just to get the name of the business, but
Leota Park is the name of might be the name of a place.
the name of a place, but
But here's one: the missing monkeys are howler monkeys. That's a clue.
yep, that is important. I don't know where to go. They'll be reversing.
Those are irrelevant.
Howler monkeys make a
Yes.
distinctive howling sound. Yep.
This is the one.
Yep, that one. Yep. Well, we heard weird noises inside. Yeah.
So now we go to the Cleopatra. Leota Park isn't a real thing. That Leota Park
Yeah.
is, and she was sus. But we actually heard the monkeys at the store.
Right.
And we actually caught the business mid-shift this time. You know how every time we go by that particular lot is a different store? We actually caught them painting the new sign this time.
Oh yeah, it's true.
You got it. The
Missing
missing
Cleopatra.
monkeys are at the shop named Cleopatra. We figured out that both McCavity's hieroglyphics and the mystery name Leota Park were puzzles with the same solution, Cleopatra. But which Cleopatra or Cleopatra did McCavity mean?
Or Leo C. Patra.
McCavity might have meant the actress Rosetta Stone, who plays Cleopatra in the play at the Old Vic Theater. Or McCavity might have meant the actress Leota Park, whose name is an anagram for Cleopatra, and who is also in the play Antony and Cleopatra. But Mr. Friscora told us he took a photo of Miss Stone and her attendant, Miss Park, at their dress rehearsal this morning. Neither of them could have taken monkeys. So Leota Park, the person, was sus, but she wasn't at the scene because we have a witness placing her across town. So,
Yeah.
when we visited the shop Cleopatra, we heard a funny noise from inside. It was exactly the kind of noise that we learned howler monkeys make. McCavity had hidden the monkeys in that old shop.
And here we go with the rest. Missing monkeys found. 9 howler monkeys stolen from the London Zoo were recovered today with the help of the Eagle Eye Detective Agency. Police discovered the animals in surprisingly excellent condition in an abandoned store. And we almost captured McCavity, PC Barbrook claimed. We got there earlier than he thought we would, thanks to the Eagle Eyes. According to Inspector Gage of Scotland Yard, the prankster McCavity left a convoluted trail which the Eagle Eyes unraveled in record time. They deciphered some Egyptian hieroglyphics that revealed the key to finding the monkeys. Although the monkeys were recovered, police found no trace of Yum Yum, the chimpanzee fluent in sign language. Police theorize that Yum Yum may still remain with McCavity for purposes unknown. Thus endeth Mystery 1, and the final mystery of Book 1, Case of the Mummified Mausa. Let's do this. Uncle, Jake, have you heard what happened at the British Museum? One of the mummies walked away.
Oh, come on, Nigel. You're kidding, right?
Jake, I'm serious. The museum recently bought a mummy of a cat. Now it's gone, and one of the curators saw it strolling out the door.
Weird. Come on, let's hurry down to the British Museum and see what we can find out.
Okay, so what's funny about this is for my Blue Sky notification that I made. Hang on, let me pull it up. Let me do this before we go on. Here's what I said. Sink with us into the underbelly of London to solve the most heinous, gruesome crimes known to man. Or we find out who stole a cat statue. One or the other.
Well, this is more than a statue. This is an actual...
I know, but it's just
Actually,
funny that it's
I remember
close.
this mystery. This is a cool one. Look at those reporters.
Look at the studio filled with fabulous prizes.
That must be the curator who saw the cat mummy come alive. Let's get close and hear his story.
Cecil Grange. I don't know what Cecil Grange is supposed to sound like. Let's see here. He shouldn't be an old guy. And then when I came back into the Egyptian room, the cat mummy was gone. I looked all around, and that's when I saw it slinking out the side door.
Wow.
It was quite abominably ugly. No hair, of course. Rather wrinkled looking, but very clearly a cat of the Egyptian breed. It must have chewed off all its wrappings while I was out of the room. I ran after it, of course. It's one of the museum's most valuable new acquisitions. But when I got to the door, it was gone. There was an open window near the fire escape door. It must have escaped that way. A 2,000-year-old cat is on the loose somewhere in London. You must tell your readers to return this cat at once to the British Museum.
This way leads to the Egyptian rooms where the cat mummy disappeared.
You can lure it in, I think, with some 1,000-year-old kibble, if you have that.
Mr. Smedley is the security chief of the museum. Maybe we can help him look for clues.
Mr. Smedley. Well. Okay, so the name Smedley makes me want to talk like that, but, you know what, I'll go with it. He doesn't look like that, but still.
Smedley, sorry, but I'm afraid you must leave. The Egyptian exhibit is closed for the rest of the day.
It's okay, sir. We're detectives. May we examine the scene of the crime?
I am Smedley. Afraid not. As you can see, there's nothing to see. Everything's tidy. No clues of any sort to tell us what caused this kitty mummy to wake up and wander off.
Tell me, Chief Smedley, what's the museum staff doing to recover this priceless artifact?
We have issued...
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's you. Sorry.
I am Smedley. We've issued bulletins to the City of London animal rescue agencies to be on the lookout for a 2,000-year-old hairless cat. It's bound to be rather hungry.
Is there any chance the mummy was actually stolen?
Not if Cecil Grange is telling the truth. He says that when he was examining the cat mummy, he left the Egyptian room for just a moment. When he returned, he saw a cat leaving, not a person.
Was the side door open when he left?
Here, let me check my notes. No, he told us the door was closed when he left. He said it's usually closed, but not locked.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Let's see what other clues
It was
we can find.
Smedley. I don't know. His name's Smedley. He's automatically sus.
Smedley, eh? Smedley, eh?
Everyone is sus. They're English. Anyone who talks like that is sus. Nigel's friend Gordon is here. Let's find out if they've heard anything else about the mysterious cat mummy that walked by itself.
Cats can be good companions, although I prefer a good sheepdog. But if you want to talk about cats, you should look up Ms. Grimalkin. Wow, okay. You should learn how to spell Grimalkin at the Ritz Hotel. She's a world expert on anything feline.
Yes, she's famous as a cat expert, collector, and psychologist. She's balmy about cats. She really loves them. She might be able to figure out where a 2,000-year-old cat would hide.
Great. Now let's see if we can figure out which direction to go to reach the Ritz Hotel. Let's pull out the map of London.
Nigel, you sexy man.
We're in South Kensington. How do we get to Piccadilly and St. James? Let me go find my map. So, hold on, I'm pulling up the map. So, I'm at the Eagles
I'm grooving
house.
to some lo-fi.
What?
I said I'm grooving to some lo-fi.
Alright, so we want to go almost directly northeast to about the middle of this map.
Yeah, okay.
Alright.
Do it! Do it! Right, the Ritz Hotel's almost directly northeast of our house. You'll be there in no time. Ah, I believe in you. I'm Nigel. Hello, Jake and Uncle.
Didn't we already do this?
No, this is the other speech bubble.
Weird. Because we've already talked to him and now he's saying hello.
We
Yeah,
talked to
well,
Uncle
he's the cat
Basil
mummy.
and he was involved in the conversation. This is the conversation with Nigel.
Okay.
The case of the cat mummy on the radio. All of London's on the lookout for more clues. So far, no one's found anything.
What did I do for him? Comic book guy, that's right.
There was a picture of the mummy in last month's museum journal. Have a look.
The mummy is about 2 feet high and tightly wrapped in yards and yards of old linen cloth. A painted mask covers the cat's head. The mummy dates from about 30 BC.
Please hand that back to me. That is a collector's item, and I wish to keep it in unbothered condition. Most interesting. There's also a picture of the fancy coffin the cat mummy came in. It's called a sarcophagus, you see, and it has hieroglyphics on it.
Hieroglyphics. That's the picture alphabet that the ancient Egyptians used.
And it so happens, as you are in great luck, you see, for I can decipher Egyptian hieroglyphics. Let me see if I can figure this out. It's an ancient blessing. It says, "May the power of Bastet keep you safe to be a loving companion into the next life." It's talking about the cat coming back to life, you see.
I need to hear Comic Book Guy again. I can't. I'm trying to do that from memory. The marvelous cathedral-like buildings of the Natural History Museum were built in 1881. It houses impressive examples of dinosaur skeletons and many rare and fascinating specimens of species extinct and living. Welcome to BBC World Service. The time now is 23:03.
Hey, that's Dr. Pells, the scientist. Nigel told me she used to work at the British Museum.
Let's see, Dr. Pels.
I heard about the mummy that came to life on the radio. Don't believe a word of it. I'm sure this is a story made up by Cecil Grange. I'm sure Cecil is trying to hide the fact that the museum's misplaced a valuable mummy. The fools.
A mummy misplaced in a museum? Do things like that really happen?
Oh, yeah.
I warned them when they fired me. I told them that without my expert care, something like this would happen. But did they listen? No.
What do you think happened to the cat mummy, Dr. Pells?
Well, that mummy didn't wake up and walk off by itself, I tell you. Somebody helped it. Mark my words. Heed my warning. Hear my sounds.
This way leads to one of my favorite rooms. Here
The cat exhibit.
Here in the mammals exhibit, they have a display all about cats. Maybe something here will help us figure out where this 2,000-year-old Egyptian cat has gone.
And maybe it won't.
The cat family includes our small house pets, the massive lions of Africa, the sleek tigers of India, and the speedy jaguars of the Americas. They are among the world's best hunters. A cat's sensitive ears can swivel on its head, helping it pinpoint where sounds come from. Its eyes are excellent and can see well even in dim light. Padded feet help it stalk its prey silently. When a cat strikes, it is very swift and powerful. The cat's skeleton and muscles form an extraordinary system of springs and levers that propel it into the attack, where it uses its claws and teeth to catch its prey.
The cat can naturally produce GPS tracking devices and attach them to their prey. A lot of people don't know that. Oh, we left the museum.
Let's go check out this other cat expert at the Ritz.
Have you seen the well-to-do? Oh, hang on a minute. We're putting on the Ritz.
High hats and arrow collars, white spats and lots of dollars, spending every dime for a wonderful time. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits?
Wow. Wow, Mrs. Grimalkin's cat sure is noisy. Even though she's locked it up in that box, I can still hear it meowing.
I totally screwed with my EQ settings to do that. Hang on a sec. Alright, that might do it. Miss Grimalkin.
Well, children, I just arrived in London today for the cat show in Covent Garden, but I'll be glad to help you find your lost cat in any way I can, yes.
It's not our lost cat, Miss Grimalkin. It's missing from the British Museum, and it's about 2,000 years old.
How extraordinary!
It's an Egyptian cat mummy, Mrs. Grimalkin. It's supposedly walked off from the museum's Egyptian exhibit. We hope we can figure out where it went.
Cat mummy, how fascinating. I'm so sorry to hear that it's gone. That would have been quite lovely to see. Cats are quite my passion, you know, and I crave anything that has to do with them. Really, I wonder if the cat wasn't catnapped by an unscrupulous collector. Some of them are quite mad about old stuffy things and would pay a lot of money to get their hands on one.
Your cat is making a real racket, Mrs. Grimalkin. Why do you keep him cooped up like that?
Because he's a jerk, you see. Oh, I hate to do it. Usually old Ramses follows me around everywhere like a dog. But he's a breed of cat called Sphinx, and right now he's, shedding lots of fur. Very sneezy, so I keep him in the cat carrier.
Inspect the cat carrier.
A tour map of the British Museum and a copy of the museum journal are stuffed into Miss Grimalkin's purse. The museum journal has a picture of the cat mummy on the cover.
It's in the carrier. That's the cat. We found it. It's right there.
We still
Wherever
got
they-
two more
it's right
places to check out. We'll go to the Covent Garden.
Covent Garden houses dozens of charming shops and restaurants in London's West End. London's West End. Its long walkways are always crowded with vendors and buskers, street singers, vying for tourist pounds.
Hey, they're having a cat show here. Let's look around.
This is the German guy.
Yeah, these cats are all very astonishing, but they are nothing compared to the beauty of the cat that escaped today from the British Museum. Don't you agree?
I'm not so sure. I prefer a pet that runs and plays with a string to one that's been dead for over 2,000 years.
But I am a collector. To me, what is very rare is very beautiful. I would give almost anything to have that cat mummy to sit on my mantelpiece back in Berlin.
Like dogs,
Yeah.
cats have been bred by humans for thousands of years. This has produced many different types of cats. We identify most common domestic cats by their coloring. Tabbies have tiger stripes, piebald cats have blotches of 2 colors, calico cats, which have blotches of 3 colors, are always female.
Almost.
There are also other special breeds of cat, like the Manx, which has no tail, the long-haired Persian, and the Siamese with its loud, raspy voice. Egyptian cats are very long and sleek-looking. Good grief, look at that, a cat that's all wrinkly with no hair. The sign says it's a really rare kind of cat called a Sphinx. Isn't that the kind of cat that Mrs. Grimalkin owns? Grimalkin claimed her cat was shedding, but she also said it's a Sphinx.
We leave Von What's-His-Names with fond memories of the Reichstag.
Grimalkin suddenly becomes suspicious if she's saying her cat has hair. The reporters are all gone. Now Mr. Tribb, the museum's assistant curator, is talking to Mr. Grange, the man who saw the cat mummy walk away.
I can't remember his voice.
This has been a disaster for the museum, let me tell you. Cecil Granger's preposterous story has made the British Museum into the laughingstock of the world. When the curator returns, I expect him to fire Mr. Grange for his incompetence. And rightfully so. Perhaps he'll give the job to someone more reliable. Like me, for example.
What did I do with him? Cecil Grange. This sucks. I come up with voices for these characters and I don't remember what the heck they are.
I know it sounds incredible, but this is exactly what I saw. When I came back, the cat mummy was no longer on the table. An amazingly wrinkled, bald cat was scampering out the side door. Perhaps I shouldn't have told the reporters the story, but it's the truth. I have no idea where the cat mummy's gone, and we simply must retrieve it. It's a rare artifact, and it cost the museum a great deal of money.
You're the one who makes sure the museum's artifacts are authentic, Mr. Grange. Did you find out if the cat mummy was for real?
Oh, yes, it is quite real, and one of the best examples we've ever seen. When properly examined, it would tell us quite a bit about the ancient Egyptians and about how people first started keeping cats as pets.
Let's go back to the Egyptian rooms. That whole row of upstairs galleries is filled with artifacts from ancient Egypt. Mummies, beautiful statues, and drawings thousands of years old.
Droll rings. They're droll rings.
Because the Egyptian people believed in another life after this one, they preserved their kings, queens, and nobles as mummies.
And they preserve their mummies as daddies.
Primitive humans probably knew small cats only as good hunters living in the wild, but over time people tamed cats and welcomed them into their houses to kill rats and mice and to keep them company. About 5,000 years ago, cats were common in the households of Egypt. Egyptians used cats to hunt fish and birds, as well as to destroy rats and mice that infested storehouses of grain along the Nile. Many cat breeds evolved from these ancient Egyptian cats. In Egypt, Cats were not only protected by law, but were considered sacred. The cat goddess Bastet was represented with the head of a cat. After a cat's death, its body was often mummified. In the 1800s, a cemetery was found in Egypt that contained the preserved bodies of more than 300,000 cats. Although the Egyptians had strict laws against exporting cats, they were soon smuggled to Europe by the Greeks and Romans. The people of India, China, and Japan also bred cats as pets, as well as rodent catchers.
And now they are used for internet entertainment.
Here's where Mr. Grange was examining the cat mummy. He had taken it out of the locked case that holds these other mummies of cats, dogs, fish, and other animals, even a baboon.
A baboon!
The exhibit says that just like with human mummies, the ancient Egyptians would remove the organs from inside the mummies before they wrapped them up. This would help preserve the mummies. The ancient Egyptians believed that if they could keep the bodies intact, the spirits could live in an afterlife. To keep those spirits happy, they would bury beautiful possessions too for the spirits to enjoy. To keep the spirit
All the cat toys.
To keep the spirit company, sometimes they would bury a favorite dog or cat in the tomb. They also thought the animals could ask a particular Egyptian god or goddess to help the spirit in the afterlife. Lucky for us, they preserved things this way. Although many of the tombs have been emptied by robbers over the years, a few were still intact. Those tombs have taught scientists a lot about how the ancient Egyptians lived. I think that's everything. Let's try and solve this.
Okay.
And then when
I think I know what's going on.
when we finish solving this, I'm gonna type a private message into the Discord.
Okay.
Let's
All
solve
right,
the case
so,
of the mummified Mauser.
All right, so let's do the solve.
The cat
Yeah,
mummy
there we
came
go.
to life and
Okay.
walked away. He said he saw an ugly hairless cat. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
There's nothing out of order in the Egyptian room.
His Grange saw the cat. The door was closed but not locked. Once he still left the room for a moment, leaving the cat mummy alone. I think that's kind of important. I don't think he made up the story. Dr. Pels wants to do.
Yeah, no, that's irrelevant.
Wait, go back one.
No, Dr. Pels is irrelevant. There's nothing connecting her
Okay.
with this other than her warning.
Here's Princess Camo instructed.
Yeah, I don't think these are relevant.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. None of these are worthwhile.
No, that's ancient history.
Yeah, people tamed. Yeah, none of that matters. None of that matters.
Yeah.
Miss Grimalkin. Here we go. Ramses. And there we go. That. The tour map sticking out of her purse might be something, but
A sphinx is a weird-looking cat.
There you go. Yep.
I would say it's Mrs. Grimalkin. She has
That's
a sphinx
where
cat,
yeah.
and she was hiding her cat.
Yep. You lied about the cat, therefore you're the criminal.
All these others have motives, though, but Mrs. Grimalkin is the one with an actual walking mummified cat.
Yep. Which I don't think it's an actual walking mummified cat.
You got it. Mrs. Grimalkin stole the mummy cat. We knew from the start that the cat mummy didn't come back to life because those kinds of things only happen in movies. Besides, if the mummified cat had escaped from its wrappings, it would have left the old strips of cloth lying on the table.
Yep.
Our first lead was Mr. Grange, who claimed that he saw an odd, wrinkly cat leaving the room. We knew that if there were no such animal, then he must be lying. But if we could explain the mysterious wrinkled cat, we might find out who took the cat mummy.
Okay, I have a theory. I think she trained her cat to go get the mummy.
Possibly. Our big break came when we visited Mrs. Grimalkin. When we saw she had a picture of the cat mummy and a map of the British Museum, we became suspicious. Then she told us that her Sphinx cat, Ramesses, followed her everywhere. She had him shut away because he was shedding his fur, she said. We could hear him complaining in the box. But we learned that Sphinx cats have no hair, and they are wrinkled and odd-looking, just like the cat Mr. Grange saw when the mummy was stolen.
See, no one else in London has a cat like that. So it had to be her. That cat no mummy, young gumshoes say. Two young American detectives, Uncle Evie and Jake Eagle, have unraveled the mystery behind the British Museum's cat mummy that appeared to come to life and escape earlier this week. The mummy was stolen, revealed Jake. It did not walk away on its own. Acting on a tip from Uncle and Jake, Scotland Yard recovered the mummy from cat fanatic Felicia Grimalkin. It was her cat Ramses that witness Cecil Grange mistook for the mummy itself. Ramses is a sphinx cat, explained Jake. A strange breed of Egyptian cat with no hair and wrinkled skin. Ms. Grimalkin wouldn't let us see her Ramses because she said he was shedding his fur. But we discovered that sphinxes like Ramses have no fur. She was covering something up, said Jake. Uncle and Jake were instrumental in recovering the irreplaceable cat mummy, which is the best example of its type known to exist, said curator Buckley of the museum. Our Egyptian Antiquities Department is forever in their debt. Now, see, it doesn't explain how she stole it, though, so I don't know.
All right. At this point, I'm gonna.
Thus endeth book one.
We're gonna take a break here. I'm putting my stream back onto the splash screen.
All right.
I'm muting my mic. I'm gonna leave yours running in case you need to fill air, because I'll post an update in the Discord.
Okay.
Don't wanna talk about this out loud. I'm muting. I'm muting, but wait for a moment to see my message before you walk away from your computer.
All right. Yeah, I'll go ahead and mute you as well from here. There we go.
Right. And I'll leave your microphone running in case you have to fill dead air for a while. I am back. Um, for at least one more. Just waiting for Brett to get back from his break.
We will continue on. Can you hear me, Evie?
Yes, did you see my note?
I did, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna do another case here and see how this goes.
Yeah.
I got Luna.
Hold on, your
Oh,
audio,
yeah.
your
I
audio cut
represent.
out
I'm
there.
everywhere.
Your audio cut out for a moment. You got what going on?
My what? Okay. Probably a bandwidth thing. But yeah, I'm everywhere. I'm worldwide, Luna. That's what it is. See, I'm worldwide. Okay. We can
All right, give me one moment.
soldier on if you like. Let me get my
Give me
music
one
started
moment.
here.
I'm in the other
I like
browser.
having the music on the background here. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got some slow jams happening. Slow jam the news.
Okay, today's work money
Did you see
is
the
on its way to the bank. All right, I can go back in the browser if you're ready to start.
Crashing out the stock market now.
All right, so now if we click choose a
Crashing
mystery,
out
we
stock
should see a
market.
completely new list.
Gonna crash it out.
All right, we have a new list.
It's crazy.
Oh, okay. We got 25
The alien
more
assassin.
25 more mysteries here.
Nice. We should do 12 of them tonight.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
Mom says hi. Says we have an open bed for when you eventually visit. It will happen. I promise you it will happen. As soon as we get our passports. Which
All right.
That's going to have to happen before May 7th or whenever it is. Yeah, it's like next month for the Real ID deadline. By the way, for those of you watching out there that are not familiar with the Real ID deadline that is coming up, they are going to enforce it this time. It looks like finally they pushed it off like a half dozen times now. It's got to happen sometime. So I guess it's got to happen sometime. Whatever.
Are we?
Yeah.
We've got a whole
Yeah.
fresh case list here, so we've got
Let's do
another.
it.
We've got another 3 to 4 episodes ahead of us. Are we
I'm
ready?
excited.
Are we ready to begin the case of the alien assassin?
I snorted a mountain of coke on break. Let's go.
Okay.
Don't do drugs, kids.
I didn't snort coke, but I did guzzle a Sprite.
Well played.
What's funny is they had those 20-ounce single serve bottles for like $3.50 when I did my grocery order earlier, but they had the 1.2 liter bottle, which is like 4 times as big, for $2. You get 4 times as much for just over half the price, and it's the exact same stuff. I couldn't believe it. I mean, somebody in that store is not mathing correctly.
Okay, so since we're talking soda purchases, Dollar General, they're a terrible company. So all throughout the whole time, like I basically stopped shopping there for a long time because they would have these soda specials, and you would take them up to ring them up, and there would be some catch, or you had to have the app, or this, or that, or the other. It was just, and I would have to wait 20 minutes for a manager to come ring stuff up. But then they fixed everything for a while, and so I would go in and get 4 for 12 sodas or whatever. Went in earlier tonight because I needed some hamburger buns, and they had the soda specials. I'm like, okay, well, it's been working, so I'll try it again. And went up and rang up and everything, and it came to $28. It was supposed to be 3 for 12, and I was like, no, please fix this. And so they had to get somebody over to fix it, and the guy had to like walk through the whole store to find the manager or something. The attorney general somewhere needs to make these guys fix their terminals.
Okay.
I don't know what
well,
else
we got
to say.
we got Lord Pomeroy on the phone.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted to vent for a moment. All right, Lord Pomeroy.
We met him
Do I
before.
Have we?
Yeah.
All right. I don't remember what his voice is supposed to be like, so I'll just.
I think he's the Parliament guy that we saw in a couple of castles.
Yeah.
Do I have the honor of addressing Jake Eagle?
Yes, you do. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I'm resetting this. I made a mistake here. I'm
Something
rebooting.
happened?
Yeah, I'm resetting the game. Remember I told you
Oh.
what would happen when we switched case books? We would go to the other
Uh,
character. Remember? All
oh,
right.
that's right. Yeah, going to what was her name? Jane or something?
Jennifer, I think.
Jennifer. All right, I think it's right. Yeah.
I'm still. It's still gonna be my same voice. I don't do voices, but
Well, you do a voice. It's the voice of Evie.
all right. So now we're gonna be working with Jennifer instead of Jake for the bottom half. So we're going back into the case of the alien assassin, and
Okay.
which starts with Lord Pomeroy on the phone.
I have a feeling the dialogue won't be much different between the two characters. Just a guess.
Do I have the honor of addressing Jennifer Eagle?
So the reason why they have twins, the reason why they have twin main characters, and you only see one and not the other when one's in play, it's how they address the issue of allowing kids to pick their actual gender when playing the game.
Yeah.
All the games, a lot of the games, do some variant on that.
Yeah. Got to have on-screen representation of
all right.
yourself if you can find it.
All right, take it from the top and let's get this going for real.
All right, you can go ahead and skip this line. It's fine.
Yes, you do. I guess. I'm Jennifer Eagle. Can I help you?
Indeed you can. This is Lord Pomeroy. May I request that you and Uncle Evie meet me at once in the chambers of Parliament? It's a most urgent and secret matter of state.
Well, Lord Pomeroy, we'll be right there. Okay,
So now it's not just Scotland Yard; it's the government of England. To get
the
you to
entire
do that.
government of England is apparently incompetent now.
Yeah, they can't do anything either. Yeah. Basic problem solving skills have escaped the nation of England somehow.
There's Lord Pomeroy. Now stand up straight. We're on official business for the British government.
She got leg warmers. That's funny.
Welcome, Jennifer and Uncle, and thank you for coming over so promptly. I have an urgent assignment for you. But first, I must insist that everything I tell you be kept in the strictest confidence. No one else may know about what we discussed today. Now then, I've been officially invited to participate in another of Lady Edna's murder mystery parties. But, Uncle, I must tell you, I'm perfectly dreadful at these things. Last time I wrongly accused the ambassador to Italy, and we very nearly had a diplomatic incident. All of Italy might have been angry at us, all over such a tiny mistake. Could I please appoint you two to be my official representatives at this party? Because we've solved every other case in existence, and I need you for this.
Sure, Lord Pomeroy. I don't have to put on my best dress or anything, do I?
I'm only an elected official.
Well, normally you... Oh, hey, that would be the mayor from Nightmare. That's this guy.
I'm only an elected official. Well, normally you would, but for this occasion I grant you special permission to wear your normal clothes. I also give you clearance to read this top-secret file. It's background for the case. The party's being held at Warwick Castle Hall. My office has already gotten your Uncle Basil's permission for you to go. Here are your bus passes and train tickets. Good luck.
Okay, so it's another murder mystery party, but this time it involves official government business. Something fishy is already going on here.
Yeah. Well, it's England. They're wackos anyway.
If
You
I
wacko, crazy Brits.
if I
I love
remember correctly, a lot of the mysteries in the second case book are kind of like sequels or spiritual successors to cases from the first book. And
Yeah, that makes sense.
all right, we've got a couple minutes before the train arrives. Let's look at the top secret file Lord Pomeroy gave us. The file's
It's gonna
marked.
have like an enchilada wrapper or something in it.
The file's marked for your eyes only, top secret, in big red letters. Inside are a
Now
few
we
papers. Check
We've
it
got
out.
a quote, "Oi governor" from the chat. Oi governor.
Check
Oi.
it out. Here's a program for the murder mystery party. It says when we arrive, everyone will be playing their parts. Lady Edna Saltcoats will be playing Lady Eustace Peppard, the owner of Warwick Castle. Julia Beeswing plays her maid, Felicity Wiles.
Felicity Wiles.
Dr. Mercury is Professor Deebles, a biologist. Mrs. Drumright will be playing Mrs. Barnum, an events promoter. Hey, joke name there? Events promoter Barnum.
Paul Thomas Barnum. I bet it is.
That has to be a reference, calling her Mrs.
Oh, yeah.
Barnum as an events promoter.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, I'm sure of
And
that.
Mr. Frescora will play Dr. Figbotham, an astrophysicist.
Big bottom.
Colonel
Big
Sweeney is Sergeant Spangler, a retired Army officer. And get this, it says Volbozg the alien will play himself. There's an outer space alien at this party.
These rich people, man, they know how to party.
There's another official-looking document here. It's like a spy report. It says rumors about the sighting of an alien from outer space at Warwick Castle are confirmed to be true. Wow. Lady Eustace Peppard claims the alien is her guest. No official action has yet been taken. Recommend you send experienced representatives to investigate. That's us.
Okay.
Cool. The people at the party will pretend like an alien really has landed and is hanging out at Warwick Castle. And here comes our train. Let's go meet this alien from outer space.
Let's do. And let's grab a pint at the Piccadilly Square with Luna, because Luna is saying grab a pint at the Piccadilly Square.
I'll look over the
I'd love
files
to
some more
grab
as we
it.
travel to Warwick Castle.
I'd love to grab several pints at Piccadilly Square. That'd be amazing. Someday, I will hop on that plane, and it will have an issue, and I will be delayed.
There's the alien. Don't stare, just act normal. Good day, everyone. We're here on behalf of Lord Pomeroy and the British government.
Let's see, Lady Edna. She is Dame Edna. I think I was doing for hers.
I'd like to introduce our special guest, Mr. Valbaz from Outer... Oh my goodness! Something terrible has happened to Mr. Valbaz. He took a sip of his drink and keeled right over. What on earth is going on in this place?
Aha, this must be the murder. Let's investigate and do Lord Pomeroy proud.
Luna says, so you're flying United. No, that's where you get dragged off the plane, I think.
Let's see. Lady Edna is playing Lady Eustace Peppard.
Peppered and salted.
This is terrible. Valbaz was a guest in my castle. What shall I tell the members of my bridge club? They were so excited about meeting him next Thursday.
Do you have any
fortnight.
idea who in this group might want to murder an alien?
Oh, no, he was so well behaved. Always said please and thank you and all. And really caused no fuss at all, except for that row with Felicity, my maid, of course.
Row, what's that all about?
A row is a disagreement, an argument, really. Felicity got quite upset when Vegetable accidentally ate her favorite pet goldfish.
The alien ate her goldfish?
No, aliens ate my grandmother. It was a film in the 1980s. Yes, Nadine. I mean, Nadine was the name of her goldfish. I'm afraid Vegetable thought it was a snack, you know, like candy in a dish. And before we could stop him, he bopped Nadine into his elbow.
Into his
That's how he
elbow?
used it. Yes, yeah. Yes, that's where his mouth is. I mean, was. I mean, his mouth is still there, in his elbow. I mean, but he's not there. I mean, here. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't. I'm quite senile.
I think I've lost the trail already. According to our secret file, Mrs. Drumright is playing the ruthless promoter, Mrs. Barnum.
Yeah. Let's see, Ms. Drumright.
You know, I don't think there was a murder committed here at all. I'm sure this is just a tragic mistake. It's really too bad the world will not be able to meet Mr. Bratton. It's too bad. Of course, I imagine people line up for kilometers just to see his body. His supple, muscular body. And pay a lot of money, too. A lot of money. I myself would pay thousands.
Lord Pomeroy's notes say Colonel Sweeney is playing Sergeant Spangler, a retired Army officer.
Let's see. He's the Australian. Well, he's gone, is he? Good. Don't like aliens. Can't trust them. Who knows what they're up to in their misshapen purple heads? Although I have to admit he spoke English pretty well. Had kind of an American accent, though. Got it from the telly, I imagine. Bloody hell.
Lord Pomeroy's no. I clicked on the wrong thing again. Hold on.
Yeah,
I
there,
clicked
but
one
but I
pixel
can that
over
window.
from where I meant to click. Our secret file says Mr. Friskor is playing an astrophysicist named Dr. Figbotham. An astrophysicist studies stars and planets. He probably had a few zillion questions for a person from outer space.
With a tragic murder, I'm sure that once Mr. got to know me, I mean us, he would have shared his technological secrets with me. I mean, with us. You know, with humans, like me. I am human. Then we could have built our own spaceships and learned so much more about our solar system and our galaxy. Can't tell you how maddening it is to only be able to look at our universe through a little telescope. I tried a larger one, but it broke and they wouldn't take it back on warranty. People like Miss Barnum just don't understand how important a meeting like this really was. All she could think about was how much money she could charge people to see the alien from outer space if only he would let her take him on tour. The alien, Mr. told her quite firmly that he would never charge people money to see him. Ho ho! That really made her furious. And she gonna do it anyway. She killed him.
I see one of the chairs is empty. Is there someone missing from this hall?
Yes, the alien. Have you not been paying attention?
Yes, Miss Eagle. Dr. Winthrop Deebles. Dr. Winthrop Deebles decided to take the air just before I brought in the refreshments. If you'll just step right this way.
Take the air means run outside so he can fart.
Let's see. Dr. Mercury is playing Professor Winthrop Deebles, a biologist of high renown. Biologists are people who study life in all its forms. These people are all doing pretty well in their acting, although I noticed Lady Edna has a hard time keeping a straight face.
I can't remember what his voice is supposed to be like, so I'm just gonna go. Hey, so you've come to visit with our unusual friend, have you? Won't you find him most interesting? Yes.
Actually, we find him mostly dead, Dr. Deebles. He keeled over in mid-sip. We were wondering if you knew anything about it.
Dead? Good heavens. I warned him actually about eating our food and drinking our drink. Things which are yummy to us could be bad for an alien. You see. Yeah. Chocolate in particular could be dangerous for him. Many people don't know that cocoa, an ingredient in chocolate, is actually rather toxic to most animals.
Really,
In fact,
Dr. Merc,
aliens
I mean
too.
Professor Deebles, our dog ate a whole box of chocolate truffles once, and he did get pretty sick.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I imagine he would. You know, I warned Felicity Wiles about serving Mr. Blah any kind of chocolate. She was the only one I told about that. I doubt she would forget. She's such an efficient person. I wonder if someone deliberately switched cups with the alien.
Isn't she the one who had the argument with the alien, according to the witness?
I think so, yeah.
It's the alien ship. It looks pretty much like the ones you see on the cover of Gossip magazine. Hey, is someone prowling around the ship down there?
It looked like... No, it was Dr. Figbodgem. It looked like he had some keys in his hand, but he couldn't find the door. You know, Dr. Figbodgem was furious because the alien wouldn't let him into his spaceship or tell him anything about its technology. Dr. Yeah, said that humankind wasn't ready for the technology he had, but Dr. Figbodgem didn't buy any of that. He wanted to get out and explore the stars himself right now. So he killed him to take his keys? I don't know.
You know, the alien took one sip from his teacup and then, boom, he was dead in his chair. What was he drinking?
Everclear.
Cocoa, Miss Eagle. Just ordinary cocoa.
Cocoa? I think not. I quite distinctly heard him order tea.
Well, Miss Wiles is right. There is just ordinary cocoa in the alien's cup. There's just a little bit left. Did anyone else order cocoa?
Yes, Miss Barnum did. She was the only other cocoa drinker. Yes, as a matter of fact, I did. I drank mine. It was perfectly delicious. Nothing wrong with the cocoa at all.
Miss Barnum's cup used to have cocoa in it, but now it is empty.
Then how do you know it had cocoa in it?
The
Ah.
murder mystery party is using a realistic-looking stuffed dummy to represent the victim, Mr. Volbaj the alien. Okay,
Oh wow, it launches us right into this, huh?
well, there's nowhere else to go.
Okay. Uh, First one doesn't matter. Plays the main of it doesn't matter who plays who, right? I don't think,
Well,
unless it's the Ms. Drum, right?
there's a clue linking to a Felicity Wiles. So,
Ah, okay. Because she took the orders and brought him cocoa, but she
and
was
she
the
had a
only one that
motive.
knew. Yeah. Yep. There's motive. Cocoa in the cup. Yep. Yep. According to me, yeah, that was the order. Let's see if anything else might not be the murderer. Might not be a murderer.
All right.
It's how to build spaceships. Ms. Barnum was furious when they refused to go on a big money-making tour.
Felicity Wiles was
Where's
the only
one?
other
Yeah,
person.
there we go. Yep,
Yeah.
that one. That one. That one right there. That one there. That one there.
That'd be the maid,
It was
Julia,
the
who
alien.
played Felicity.
I think it was Professor Figbottom.
You got it. The maid, Felicity Wiles, was the guilty one in this out-of-this-world murder party.
They didn't have a butler, so the butler couldn't have done it.
Our first big clue was the cocoa the alien drank just before he died. Professor Deebles knew that cocoa was likely to be fatal to an alien, but he had no motive for the crime. He only told one other person about the cocoa secret, the maid, Felicity Wiles. Felicity had a motive to murder the alien, revenge. After all, the alien had eaten her favorite pet goldfish. You know, I thought these were supposed to be harder, but you know what? Actually, if you think
Yeah.
about it, everyone had a motive except that one scientist.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah,
wanted the alien dead except for him, and he's the one who knew how to kill the alien, and he did name dropping to indicate who did. So yeah, this isn't that much harder than the ones that came
Yeah.
before.
This one might be like an aperitif, like a little break or something before we get into harder cases, because this one was really simple. I don't pay attention to these at all.
Yeah,
Honestly. I
I'd
know
say,
what's up.
even though I'm not feeling a second wind, let's go on to the next one. This
All right, well,
this one.
Let me read through this
Yeah.
real quick. Oh, this is the guy. Okay. Dear Uncle Evie and Jennifer Eagle, my most sincere thanks for solving the murder at Lady Edna's murder mystery party. As it turned out, the cocoa only put me very deeply asleep for a while. Perhaps I will drop in on you when I'm back in your solar system. Until then, I remain your friend from signed the alien. P.S. Lady Edna says hello.
All right, let's at least do one more.
Yep.
We'll do the case of the Raja's Ruby.
The Raja's Ruby.
And this one should take us to the 2-hour mark. And honestly, I think that's a good place to stop given how I feel right now.
Okay, it's up to you. I may switch over to something. I don't know how quickly I can get that set up though.
That's 4 mysteries. That's still, I think we did one episode before where we only did 4. So I think that's fair. It's a reasonable amount considering how I feel. I mean, I didn't expect that to happen during a break. So
Yeah, that's cool.
So let's do this one, and then we'll call it there.
All right, it's up to you. We can we'll revisit after this one, and if you gotta go, that's fine.
I don't think I've got another one in me, especially if especially because I have to stay up to do video processing. I always do that same day because if I wait till the next day, I forget.
Yeah, well, that's what I was telling you. You can set your OBS to record, and it doesn't really have a processor.
Well, I do the YouTube uploads like after stream, because otherwise I forget when I leave it for the next day. So I only do that if I go really, really late, like middle of the morning.
Yeah.
And that's only happened a couple times.
All right, that's cool.
Uncle Basil's
All
up.
right. Yeah, Uncle Basil. All right. How does your day look, Jennifer? Are you free to join me at Snootby's this morning?
I guess so, Uncle Baz. What's going on over there today?
Only one of the most thrillingly anticipated auctions in the last 50 years. Snootby's will at last be putting to auction the treasures of the great Rajah, including his priceless ruby. The Eye of the Tiger! I didn't know Basil could sing. Harry Potter. What? Harry Porker. Harry Parker sent us a special invite so we can nip in first and cop the best seats rather. Excuse me.
Didn't this game come out a few years before Harry Potter, dude?
Ah.
Cool. No way would I have enough cash to nab stuff, but it sounds like it'll be fun to watch. Let's go.
Rising up back on the street. Did my time, took my chances. Went the distance, now I'm back on my feet.
That's weird. The sign on the door said auction postponed, and they haven't set up the chairs or anything. What's going on?
Harry Parker. Well, this guy is the one that was like Richard Branson.
He's
type.
the auctioneer guy.
Yeah, I can't remember what his voice is supposed to sound like. All right, let's see. Ye gods, the humiliation, the priceless eye of the tiger, stolen right out from under our noses. And who, may I ask, is this fiend McCavity?
McCavity. This sounds like a case for the Eagle Eyes.
Dun dun dun. This is madness! No! This is Sparta! An outrage! I can only assume that the special security team we hired to guard the ruby was bought off by that feline-obsessed pilferer McCavity. My mic's really hot. There we go. McCavity's note hints that the ruby's been hidden in some site around London. We can't go around searching them all. The publicity would kill us.
No problem, Mr. Parker. We'll be happy to investigate the disappearance of the ruby for you. Nobody will notice us.
This is Cake Town, I'm being told in chat. You'll have to puzzle out this mysterious message and figure out where the ruby's been hidden. And quickly, too. We can't risk some tourist finding it by chance.
Don't worry, Harry. We've dealt with McCavity before. We'll figure it out and get your ruby back before the day's out.
I want my ruby back, ruby back, ruby back.
I think she's new.
I want my ruby back, ruby back.
If we saw her before, it was a one-off. But I think she's new.
Ruby back ribs. I don't remember what she sounds like.
The Eye of the Tiger is undoubtedly the most famous and valuable ruby in the world. Its story begins back before the Raj, the British government of India. Legend has it that Maharaja, a prince of India, out hunting one day, shot a one-eyed tiger and followed it to its lair. But when he got there, the tiger had disappeared, and all that remained of him was a huge ruby, red as blood and big as a tiger's eye. Of all the treasures of India we have here for auction today, it is certainly the most important. We took special security precautions to see to it that it would be safe. I can't imagine what went wrong. Just before the auction this morning, the band Survivor showed up. I thought it was quite strange, as an American band showing up, and they hadn't even had a big hit yet. I thought it was very odd. Harry and I went to the safe to retrieve the Eye of the Tiger. All three of the guards we'd hired were gone, and in the ruby's place we found a note. And the note said, "Thank you for the hit single. It's vital that we get the ruby back, Jennifer, as well as hundreds of thousands of pounds. Snootby's reputation is at stake."
The note is patched together out of a newspaper and magazine clippings. The tiger's bright bauble is the apple of my eye, but today you can find it, for I let it lie, hidden in the open, close to England's heart, not far away at all, to give you a good start. This clue,
I swear I thought he was going to say fart.
This clue will I leave you, a British Star of India, near the Scottish Scone. The man who would be king will have the tiger stone. Just so, signed McCavity. Scottish Stone,
Okay.
the man who would be king. I think those are our first clues.
Yep.
Sounds like gibberish to me, but knowing McCavity, it probably all points to the place where we'll find the Eye of the Tiger. Hey, look at this. McCavity's note is pasted on the back of a book cover. The book's title is The Elephant Child by Rudyard Kipling. Maybe that's a clue too. We could find out more about him at the British Museum's library. Isn't that the Jungle Book guy?
Yes. And that reminds me of something.
Sandra's up again.
Yeah. I'll tell you in a minute.
Harry and I have been pondering the note all morning. I think the Star of India is that huge diamond in the crown jewels at the Tower of London. But I'm sure he's hidden the ruby at Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. The man who would be king? They have plenty of kings there. And queens. Haha, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. And stars, too, for that matter.
Don't worry, we'll run around to those places and see what clues we can find. We'll go to the zoo too. I'm sure we can find an elephant's child there. So yeah, this case seems to be more in line with what we're expecting from a more advanced case book.
While you're figuring out where to go, I came across an anomaly the other day. It's a weird thing. There was a movie that came out. I think it was 1993 or four, and it was a joint production between.
All right, we're going to the zoo.
Yeah. Who was it?
Hold on.
It was two major movie studios. One of them was Amblin Entertainment, Spielberg's company.
The browser emulator did the freeze thing
Okay.
that it does. I'm restarting the game. I'm gonna click through that first scene real quick. You don't have to read anything.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'll do my talking while you're doing that. Anyway, I saw it on Laserdisc.
So,
And,
which movie was this?
I'm tempted to buy it. I'm getting to that. Hang on one second. I want to. Oh, come on. Oh, it was Disney and Spielberg that made this freaking movie, and it's called A Far Off Place. And I've never heard of it. It's about kids getting lost in Africa or something. But yeah, it was a co-production between Disney and Steven Spielberg, and I've never heard of it. And I guess it didn't do well. He didn't direct it; somebody else directed it, but he produced it. So I don't know. It's like $5 on Laserdisc. I'm thinking about buying it just because it's so weird. I've never heard of the thing, and like I was alive then, so I don't know.
What's the name of this movie?
A Far Off Place. And I don't know, it might have come out on DVD. It's not on Blu-ray. But it's definitely on Laserdisc. And I'm thinking about picking that up. Oh, speaking of which, I already put them away. Damn. I won an auction the other day and got the...
All right, there we go.
I already have... Yeah.
See how the diamonds are sparkling now? They weren't doing that before.
Yep. I got an auction the other day, Luna and Shinobu. I already have the definitive collection.
Excuse me a
but
moment.
I found out that the actual quote-unquote normal
hold
pressings
on.
were made from a
Q's
different print.
Q's opening the door.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello,
We're on stream
what's
right
up?
now.
I know, I'm saying hi to everyone.
We're on our last mystery of the night.
Okay.
What's up, Q?
I'm exhausted.
Just to wrap up my thing very quickly, the quote-unquote normal laser discs for like the non-definitive collection laser disc for Star Wars apparently used a different print and came out later, which is weird, and I didn't know that. But they have better picture quality, and so I went ahead and got those. I got them for like $30 for all three of them. So anyway, it was pretty interesting. I thought it was interesting. Yeah.
So I should be making the selections for the rest of my droid's body parts next week, and then he'll be ready to go to be assembled on stream during May. Hey Q, come back here. I got something for you. Anyway, sorry about that. Let's get this on. We're in Madame Tussauds Wax Museum right now. If the ruby's here at the Wax Museum, anyone could find it. This place is always packed with tourists. Let's ask Mrs. Dunbar if there's any connection between Madame Tussauds and a Star of India, or the man who would be king.
Hang on a second, bud. Oh. Sorry, I stepped away for just a second there. Of course, lots of our displays here are kings, and even more are stars. Madame Tussauds Wax Museum has thousands of wax models of royalty, film stars, and other famous celebrities. I'll show these while I'm talking. Actors of the stage and screen fill our displays. I can't remember any that would fit the category of a Star of India, though.
Do you have any famous people from India here?
It's a gatefold. Darth Vader. Certainly. Probably the most famous is a historical figure, Mahatma Gandhi. He was a great leader during India's struggle for independence. I suppose people might say he was a Star of India. And there he is.
The guidebook says that Mohandas K. Gandhi was a spiritual and political leader in India beginning in 1917. Over time, the people gave him the title Mahatma, which means wise man. Gandhi sought to free India from the oppressive rule of the British Empire. Instead of starting a war, as Americans did to gain freedom, Gandhi used peaceful protest and negotiation. He encouraged his followers to demonstrate against the harsh rules and unfair taxes of the British government with nonviolent civil disobedience. In his protests, hundreds of thousands of people would gather and march through city streets to show how much they wanted freedom. This kind of protest was later used in America by such civil rights leaders as Martin Luther King Jr. Gandhi also was dedicated to helping the poor. He very much respected the simple work of people's hands. Every day he would spin cotton into thread as a reminder of the work that people do. Today the flag of the Republic of India bears a spinning wheel in his honor. Gandhi's gentle persuasion and logical arguments helped India convince the British to withdraw the colonial government in 1947 and allow the Indian people to rule themselves. Hey, that's just 5 years after the British pulled out of Israel.
That's true.
Actually, 5 years? No. That's 1 year before they pulled out of Israel. So, yeah, the British were pulling out of their colonies at around the same time. And that's where we start to see the modern rise of nations. Tragically, Gandhi's peaceful life ended in violence when a religious fanatic assassinated him in Delhi in 1948.
Okay, so while we're changing scenes here, just in case anybody at home has not seen a Laserdisc yet, I know Luna and
All right, we're going to the zoo.
I know who has. All right, cool. It is a giant CD, basically,
You summoned.
and they're very reflective.
Thank you.
All right, one moment. So here's the
I know,
deal,
right?
Glenn.
Nice record.
I got a Cheese Danish 2-pack that actually is Cheese Danish. They're either
thing that I
both
was-
mine or one's for you if you trade me meat sticks.
I told you not to mention it again today.
Yeah, the microphone's running.
Evan, I told you not to mention it again today.
Well, the choice is yours. Do you want Cheese Danish?
Now you have to. I'm giving you an extension. Are you going to pass the test this time?
What test? I'm on microphone.
I told you not to mention it today.
Say hi to the people. I'm offering a trade. I'm
I
being
already
fair.
said hi. I know you're offering a trade, but I already told you not to mention it.
He's being weird about his meat sticks. I share so much with him. Anyway, there's an elephant's child right now with Mr. Potter. I wonder if it's an Indian elephant.
A thought experiment. All right, so back to Evie. Oh, it's me, Mr. Potter. I can't remember what I did for his voice. Oh, yeah, no, I made him Steve Irwin. I've already got an Australian guy, but this guy was Steve Irwin, I think. Gotta get Steve Irwin in my head here.
Why, yes, Mickey is indeed an Indian elephant. You can tell because of her small ears and humped back. These elephants are quite a prize in India. They can be trained to do all kinds of useful things, from carrying people to tearing down trees.
Well, we're trying to hunt down a British Star of India, Mr. Potter. Do you think that might have anything to do with Mickey?
A British Star of India? I imagine that an elephant might be thought of as a Star of India because they're so useful there. But I'm afraid Mickey's not British at all. She and her mother are on loan from a rubber tree farm in India. Crikey.
What a cute baby elephant. Whenever I see a little animal like this, I always want to pet it. I know sometimes animals, especially wild animals, don't like to be played with, so I don't touch them unless the zookeeper says it's okay.
Ever since that incident with the bear.
Oh, I have a funny story about baby elephants.
Baby elephant, 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 baby elephant, 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 baby.
But
elephant.
let's finish.
What's your elephant story?
Let's finish the mystery first, because it's long and involved, and
All right. I want to hear your elephant story.
It involves an 18-year span in which I almost forgot the first part of the story happened until I got the call back in the second part of the story. So let's go to the British Museum.
Yes, let's. The British Museum, being visited by a Frenchman who is me.
McCavity's note was stuck to the cover of a book by Rudyard Kipling. This would be a good place to find out about him.
Mr. Sneed's not here today, I guess. We just went in through the window.
Okay, what kind of book should we look in to find out about Rudyard Kipling?
Biography, that one.
Biographies of English writers.
Biographies of English writers, yes.
All right, the biography book is the one we'll want to look in first. Rudyard Kipling was born of British parents in 1865 in Bombay, India. At that time, India was part of the British Empire, so although born in India, Kipling was a citizen of Britain. Kipling was sent back to England at a young age to be educated, but he never forgot the wonderful folk tales and stories his Indian nanny told him. These stories heavily influenced his most famous works, The Jungle Book and Just So Stories. And his Jungle Book was later stolen by Disney. When he was 16, Kipling rejoined his family in India. Soon he became a journalist in the northwestern area of India, known as the Punjab. Here he wrote many poems and short stories about the lives of British soldiers in India, including The Man Who Would Be King. His stories really helped people in England imagine what India was like. In 1889, Kipling and his family returned to England, where he was greatly admired as a poet and author. In 1907, he received the Nobel Prize for Literature. He died in 1936 and is buried at Westminster Abbey. Wow, the Pulitzer Prize. Kipling must have been a real star writer to get that.
Yeah.
Here's a book about India under the British Empire. British influence in India began in the year 1600 when the British East India Company was chartered. In 1757, they succeeded in throwing out the French and Dutch colonies, and over the next century established British rule over most of India. In 1857, the company's Indian soldiers revolted, and the troops of the British Crown stepped in to restore order. This is when the British government began to control India, the rule that was called the British Raj. Queen Victoria was even crowned Empress of India in 1877. By 1918, the British ruler of the Indian Empire, called the Viceroy, actually ruled over 1/6 of the people on Earth. Britain controlled many provinces directly, but many others were run by Indian princes called Rajas, who supported British rule. Although British rule brought roads and railways, factories and schools, many Indian citizens dreamed of ruling their own country. In 1885, they founded the Indian National Congress, which tried to persuade Britain to let the people of India control their own country. Around 1920, control of the Congress passed to a dynamic man who preached nonviolent protest, Mohandas K. Gandhi. His philosophy inspired millions of Indian people to join massive protests against British rule. Finally, in 1947, the British withdrew from India. When the British left, the Indian Empire broke into pieces. Today, those pieces are the independent countries of India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh.
That's a lot of history dump right there.
I'm sure most of it is.
Of the British Empire.
I'm sure a lot of it isn't even relevant to the final solution.
Yeah, it is not. I'm certain. But it's an educational title, edutainment. That's edutainment. Oh, I didn't get to sing "Eye of the Tiger" again yet. Are we still on that one? Yeah, I guess we are. Okay.
The biography of Kipling at the British Museum's library said that Kipling is buried here at Westminster Abbey. Let's see if we can find out where.
Westminster Abbey, the Tower Big Ben, the rosy red cheeks of the little children.
Rudyard Kipling's tomb lies in Poets' Corner, the section of Westminster Abbey devoted to great writers from Britain and around the world. What a weird-looking chair! The plaque says Coronation Chair of Edward I. Let's see what our guidebook has to say about it.
Little song I was just singing, just real quick, that little song I was just singing is from this album, Roger Miller's Golden Hits.
The Coronation Chair of Edward I was designed to hold the famed Stone of Scone, which Edward I captured from Scottish in 1296. Since legend has it that the kings of Scotland were all crowned upon the stone, Edward wished the stone to be placed in the coronation chair of the kings and queens of England. This placement symbolized the fact that the ruler of England would now also be the ruler of Scotland. Didn't the poem say something about the Stone of Scone?
Yes, it did.
This may be our place, but we still have one more
said-
place to visit.
Near the Stone of Scone, I think.
This place sure is huge. Let's see if the guidebook can help us find our way around. The guidebook says that historical Westminster Abbey was built on the site of a Benedictine monastery. The king known as Edward the Confessor built a new church here in 1065, but that was pulled down in 1245 by Henry III.
The eyes of the confessor.
The man who first designed the building was called Henry de Raines. It took 100 years just to build the intersection called the nave. The coronation, or official crowning, of every English monarch since William the Conqueror in 1066 has taken place in Westminster Abbey. This may be our place, but we have one more place we need to visit before we can lock
the
in.
track that I was singing off this Roger Miller album is England Swings. It's so weird. I had this album when I was a kid, but it was on 8-track.
Hey, look, it's our old friend Mr. Hargreaves. Wow, just look at all those
randomly-
jewels. A king's ransom. I bet McCavity would think it was a great joke to hide a famous ruby in the same room that keeps these gems so safe.
I randomly found this at a thrift store in Wisconsin. So, yeah.
A Star of India? Well, we do have some rather spectacular stones from India in the collection, Jennifer, but we don't have one named that precisely. We do, of course, have the Stars of Africa, the huge diamonds cut from the largest diamond ever found. That may be what Sandra Trent was thinking of when she sent you here. Some other great diamonds are from India, though, like the Koh-i-Noor. It's the oldest diamond in the collection and one of the most mysterious. Right next to the Kali Ma, Kali Ma, Kali Ma.
The guidebook says the crown jewels contain some of the largest and most famous precious stones in the world. The Star of Africa is the largest cut diamond in the world. It's that huge one in the scepter. That other big one in that crown is called the Second Star of Africa. It says here that they were both cut from the Cullinan diamond found in South Africa. I guess that's not the Star of India we're looking for.
Yes, they have not felt the rains down in Africa.
The Koh-i-Noor, or Mountain of Light diamond, is from India. It says here that this diamond was found in 1655 and was given to Queen Victoria in 1850 by the directors of the British East India Company. In one of the legends about the diamond, 2 greedy brothers fought over it, so it's supposed to be unlucky for a man to wear it. That's why it's in the Queen's consort crown. Let's go back to Westminster Abbey, because I'm pretty 95% sure that's where the thing is.
England swings like a pendulum do. Bobby's on bicycles too.
There's something to
Westminster Abbey, the Tower Big Ben.
There's something to be said about positioning yourself. There's something to be said about positioning yourself in the scene of the crime to solve the crime. All right.
Next time I'm muting you.
McCavity's notes said we could find the ruby, a British Star of India, near the Scottish Scone. The man who would be king will have the Tiger Stone.
Okay. And it says just so, which is another reference to Kipling.
Well, yes. And also the man who would be king. That's a clue. The man who would be king is in McCavity's poem. And that's the name of one of his books. He is buried at Westminster Abbey.
Yep. And none of the rest makes any difference.
So we can skip all the Gandhi stuff that's irrelevant.
Yeah, that's all. The Kahit. No, okay. Never mind. Africa, the scepter, largest cut diamond in the world. Blah, blah.
The Scottish Stone of Scone is set in the coronation chair.
That was mentioned specifically, yeah.
And let me make sure, yeah.
Now choose the British
Rudyard Kipling.
Hold on, I missed the question. What did she say?
Where's the ruby? Who's hiding the ruby?
Ah, okay, all right.
It's at Rudyard Kipling's grave.
Okay.
It has to be.
It's got to be, yeah.
You got it. The British Star of India McCavity wrote about was Rudyard Kipling. The ruby is hidden somewhere at Westminster Abbey where Kipling is buried. Our first clue was under McCavity's note. It was written on the back of one of Rudyard Kipling's stories, The Elephant's Child. The note said that the ruby could be found near a British Star of India. Rudyard Kipling was a British citizen, but he was born in India, and most of his famous stories were about India. When we looked up Rudyard Kipling in the library, we learned that he wrote the Just So stories and The Man Who Would Be King. McCavity used both those phrases in his note. We also learned that Kipling was buried in Westminster Abbey, and that's where we found our final clue, the coronation chair that holds the Stone of Scone from Scotland, the Scottish scone mentioned in the note.
All right, here we are with the wrap up. Raja's ruby sells for record price. The fabulous ruby was sold today at a Snootby's auction for the unheard of price of £2 million. We owe the day to Uncle Evie, gushed Snoopy's purchasing agent Harry Parker. Uncle outwitted that fiend McCavity and made today's auction possible. Snootby's officials had no further comment on why the auction was delayed. Let us just say that Snootby's owes a debt of gratitude to the Eagle Eye Detective Agency and their sleuthing bravado, said Sandra Trent, auctioneer. The ruby, thought to be the largest in the world, was purchased for £2 million in cash by a mysterious cloaked figure who departed the auction with the stone immediately after the sale.
You think
Certainly,
that's
that
McCavity?
is not McCavity.
It's
Yeah,
got to be
certainly that's not
McCavity. Well, you gotta
Yeah,
wait a few
certainly.
more. You gotta wait a few more episodes to officially unmask McCavity, but I know who it is. Anyway,
Certainly it's not. Yeah.
anyway, that's all I've got for tonight. If you
All right,
if
so-
you want to keep on with another one of your games, you can go ahead and do that. And if
Yeah, that's oh, go ahead.
if you want to do that, let me know, and I'll sit by and just raid into you officially.
Okay. Actually, what I might want to do is stop this stream, and how would that work? Yeah. Well, I don't want to have you keep your stream going. What I want to do is get my tag set properly in Twitch.
You can do
because I
that
wanna
right in
switch over-
OBS. If you update in OBS, they update in Twitch in real time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I might do that. Yeah, I'm gonna switch over. I've been wanting for a while to do Avowed, because that's a great game. So I want to start on a second playthrough of it. I've already
Okay.
played through it once.
Then what's going to happen here? Are you just going to leave your stream running, or are you disconnecting and reconnecting?
If I can change this, if it'll actually update it like it's supposed to, let me see. Oh, but see, the thing is, I can't do it. I've got my OBS hotkey to keys on the keyboard that I need to type. So, yeah, I have to like stop OBS or it does weirdness.
All right, I'll ramble for a few minutes. You go ahead and switch over, and when I see you come back online, I'm in my Twitch window now. When I see you
Okay.
come back online, I'll do the raid. Most likely, you'll still be on your countdown screen, because I wanna kill my feed as soon as possible and start video uploading.
Yeah, I may skip the countdown screen and just launch straight into a live broadcast because I don't want to take too long.
All right. So I'm gonna
but,
watch for you to disappear and reappear on my followed
All
list.
right, yeah, that sounds good. Okay, so for the people on my channel, I am going to stop streaming, but I'm going to start back up. If you guys got to crash out, that's cool. Thanks for dropping in. But I am going to start a fresh playthrough of Avowed here in about 5 minutes. We'll say 12:30. That's about 6 minutes. That'll give me time to get everything set up. I probably will not do a countdown intro. I'll just launch right into it. So.
And I'm killing
thanks
the Discord share.
All right, cool. Thanks everybody for joining in. Just in case we don't see sticking around for another. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna stop this stream because I have to switch everything over. But give me about 5 minutes and I'll bounce back in. So watch for me. All right. Thanks
All right.
everybody. And in the meantime, I'm not gonna do my not actually gonna do my countdown closing either. Again, to save time. I'm just going to go ahead and close out.
And I'm gonna ramble for a few minutes until I see you back on here. Then I'm gonna raid right in, and then I'll kill my stream and do my download and get comfortable and get things going here.
Excellent. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and hit stop on this. And everyone, you'll see me back online here in just a few minutes. I'll do this as quick as I can. Thanks, guys. Later.
All right, I'll see you in a minute. All right.
Okay. That.
All right, my people. So, stream news.
I'll go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and close
Yeah.
Discord.
I'll close my Discord too.
All right. Good night, dude.
Good night. So yeah, my people, I am going to. I know I said I had a lot of game plans for the last couple weeks that haven't come to fruition. It's been weird here, and then this week I actually my studio was down, but I'm back. So I'm gonna get things set here. Um, so in May, we'll mostly be doing Star Wars content. If we're still doing, if we're still gonna have probably another couple episodes of this because we just started the second case book. The first one took us about 4 episodes, so we'll probably still be doing this in May. But aside from this, most of my content in May is gonna be celebrating Star Wars. Um, it's kind of a tradition on my channel. So we'll be doing some classic Star Wars games. We'll be doing some maybe a Star Wars tier list or two. Um, and I have something special planned. Maybe some Star Wars Lego too. Star Wars Lego is a big thing, so maybe we'll do some of that. So I'm just watching for Brett to return so we can raid into him and end the stream officially. I'm kind of rambling now, but what can you do?
Is Brett continuing on?
Yeah, he's switching to a game. The microphone's still live, but we're basically in dead air right now while I wait for him to come back on so I can raid out.
I figured that.
So, they used the small sanctuary tonight.
Really?
Yeah, they were testing some new mobile streaming setup that they've been working on.
They were supposed to do. I think they were originally supposed to go outside, but it was raining all day.
So yeah, I'm just waiting for Brett at this point. Do you want to talk? Do you want to say some things to the people while we wait?
No, I'm just heating up dinner. It's been a long day.
I had an idea, so I'll come talk to you when I raid out. Okay? I had an idea you might like, or you might not like. Alright, so yeah, we're just waiting for Brett to come back. So yeah, I do have Lego plans on the channel. At this point, May is probably going to be the next Lego I do. I still have a few Mario sets in the build queue, so we'll go ahead and do those as soon as I can justify opening up my build table again. My Lego stuff is still very much in a state of disorganization, and that's really the reason why I haven't done anything with it, with the Mario sets still in my queue, but I want to get them out. I want to do those. I'm overdue for a good Lego session. So maybe we'll look at one of those sets tomorrow. Maybe. Or, if there's work tomorrow, maybe we'll look at the Marvel set that I've been wanting to put into my build queue, if it's available for same-day delivery. That all depends on if there's work tomorrow, though. The work was pretty good this week, but I had to buy a new phone, so I'm still kind of in the red for this week. But we'll see if I can justify the Marvel set I want to get. Marvel's been releasing a lot of diorama sets that always use the same few characters. Interesting. Anyway, my follow list hasn't updated yet. So yeah, we're just waiting for Brett to get back. So yeah, the service was nice tonight. We're gonna have a holiday this weekend, so there's that. So I may actually be going on a family visit. We'll see how that turns out. I'm rambling now, but I haven't talked to you guys in a while. So, alright. I probably will bring back my Saturday Lego stream tomorrow. It's been a while. Man, it's warm in this room. I'm gonna go. The fan's on. I'm gonna go open the door when we get quit out here. Um, rambling. All right, Brett's back on apparently. All right, so let's. As soon as he all right, I see him in my browser. All right, yeah, he's live. He's just not showing up in my follow list just yet. But let's go ahead and try this. All right, have a good night. I'll see you soon. And if I'm around next week, maybe we'll continue with more mysteries now that we've gotten the advanced casebook. More mysteries now that we've gotten casebook. Have a good night. Have a good night.
Hope this works. I switched everything over in a really big hurry. Hey, Uncle Evie's ready. What? No. Can I use offline? Oh, thank God. I was like, don't tell me it's broken. Whoa, okay.